So guys, you've probably heard the news. Guys, before I get into this, I don't want to promise anything, but I want to let you know a little bit about my channel and what I've been doing over the last couple of months while we've been in lockdown here in the UK. Guys, I've been growing my social media. I've obviously started my Facebook group, which you guys probably would be aware. I've also started, Twitter, and I'm growing there. I'm growing on Instagram. I think I've got on Instagram nearly 2,600 followers. On my Facebook group, I've got over 2,000 members now. On Twitter, I've got like 600 followers. So I've been growing my social media over the past couple of months. And I've seen a growth, and you guys have probably seen it. I've seen a growth in my channel. And I am planning some big things moving forward. I am going to start doing some live streams. I'm going to start all of that. Don't worry. I'm going to start doing all of those things. Because my goal right now is just to grow my channel, just get content out there, give you boxing news. Then eventually I'm going to make it more professionalized. Hopefully, I've got a studio set up in my house that I'm going to start using eventually when I feel it gets to that level, get a professional kind of setup, start doing live streams, get a proper microphone, get a lighting, hopefully all of that. I'm going to get it all sorted. I've got all of that planned. I've got big things coming. But I just need a little bit of time once I feel I get to that kind of level, which I am seeing growth. And I feel I should have started this a long time ago. I should have started growing my social media. Before, it was just I was putting videos out on YouTube, but I never really had a social media. In the last 5 or 6, 7 months, or I don't even say, I'll say last 3 or 4 or 5 months, I've started to grow my social media, and I've seen a massive growth in my channel. And I think right now I'm still at the embryo stages of my growing my social media. Like 2,600 followers on Instagram is nothing. 600 followers on Twitter is nothing. 2,000 members in my Facebook group is nothing. I'm looking to grow that to 40, 50,000, and then I'm going to hopefully see even more growth. And then that's when I'm going to start kicking and start. I've got get my studio sorted, get a microphone, get all of that sorted, so then it becomes more professionalized. So I know a lot of you have asked about the background and the microphone. Don't worry, I've got all of that planned. Because now I feel like I'm going to be growing in the right direction. And once it gets to that level, it'll be stupid for me not to do live streams, not to do all of that, because obviously I've got more people viewing my channel. I've got more attention, and I think it's only fair, the fact that if I've got more followers and more people viewing me, more people viewing my channel, that I need to start becoming more professional, more professionalized, because I feel like the viewing and the viewing quality for you guys should be a lot better. So that's why I am planning to do all of that. Don't worry, I am planning to get all of that sorted. But I just need a little bit of time, so I can integrate everything. And then, like I said, I'm going to keep growing my social media. And once I get to that point, then 100%, I've got the studio, I've got all of the things planned and all of those things that I'm going to put in. But probably take me, I would say, hopefully by the end of this year, maybe before that, depending on how quickly I grow, I'm gonna start doing that. I've got it all planned, and I will be letting you know in the future. But I just thought I'd let you know a little bit about my channel, because a lot of you have been here for ages watching me, and I think it's fair for me to keep you up to date on what I'm doing and how I've been growing my social media and how I've been trying to grow my channel. I feel like it's only fair. So what I would ask all of you that watch my channel, been watching me for ages, is just to keep sharing my videos, because a lot of you, it's thanks to a lot of you, because you've been sharing my videos, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on other platforms, and it's really been helping me, and I've seen huge growth in my channel. And if you keep doing that, eventually it'll get to the point where my channel will be massive. Then I can afford to do it now. It's just that I want to grow it to the point where I'm like, you know what? Now I can do this. I can do this full time. I can just do this. Become fully focused. I don't really want to do that though. I don't really want to solely become focused on YouTube. But depending on how big it gets, I don't know. Let's see. I've never really thought of making this like a career or doing this. I'd rather just be like a side hobby that I do. So yeah. I just thought I'd keep you up to date with how things are moving, how things are going, because I think, like I said, some of you have been loyal subscribers for like a year, 2 years. Some of you right from the beginning. So it's only fair for me to, keep you up to date, up in the loop of what I'm doing. So yeah, I just thought I'd let you know. If you haven't joined all my social media, if you haven't joined my Facebook group, then join it, because trust me, I'm all my stuff is on my Facebook group, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's all over there. So join my other social media platforms as well, because obviously, firstly, you'll be following me. Also, I put all my stuff up. So when I have a video going up on YouTube, I put it up on Instagram, so you'll be aware. So if you don't catch up on one, if you don't see my video, just say you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, but sometimes you don't get a notification and you're on Instagram, you'll see my post that, he's posted something. So like that, if you're on all my social media platforms, you'll be able to see the video out, and then you can go to YouTube and watch it, or you can watch it through Twitter or Instagram, because I put the videos up on Instagram as well. So yeah, I thought I'd keep you up to the loop. I know it's been a bit of a long start, but let's get onto the video now. I thought I'd keep you up to speed, but let's talk about what Manny Pacquiao had to say. Manny Pacquiao basically said that he's looking, or he prefers a fight over, with Terence Crawford. Sorry, not Terence Crawford. He prefers a fight with Mikey Garcia over Terence Crawford. And that he's leaning towards Mikey Garcia. And I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this article on Boxing Scene. It doesn't surprise me. I always felt that Mikey Garcia might be the favorite to get it. I know there was a talk about Ryan Garcia, but I always felt that was a load of rubbish, to be honest with you. I never felt that Manny would fight Ryan Garcia. I never felt that Manny would fight. I just didn't get the feeling that he would fight Crawford or Spence either. Someone messaged me actually on Facebook today that, I wouldn't mind, Manny fighting, having easy fights with someone like Mikey Garcia and Amir Khan, and like someone messaged me on Facebook, because a lot of people would perceive like fights like that where Manny would win quite comfortably, like even at this point in his career, because Mikey's not a welterweight and Khan's at the end of his career. Although Khan was a welterweight in his prime, you could say that he would have been a tough fight for anybody. Not to say he would have beat Pacquiao, but he would have been a tough fight for anybody. When I look at Mikey at welterweight, even though I think Mikey right now is more credible than a Khan fight, but I always felt that it'll be someone like Mikey or a Khan. I never felt it would be Errol Spence or Terence Crawford. So I'm not that mad. And Manny Pacquiao is 42, 43 years of age. That's old, man. That's old at this age. Like, I have like some Manny Pacquiao fans come at me and say, "Oh, Imran, like you prefer skill set over," like you talk about Crawford and Spence beating Manny, and you talk about you talk about age rather than skill set. Yeah, your skill set diminishes with age. Your skill set diminishes with age. You're not the same fighter. That's why, when Manny Pacquiao fought Keith Thurman, right? Why was Manny Pacquiao tiring towards the end of that fight? What was his skill set? Like, I saw Manny Pacquiao destroy Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto was a better fighter than Thurman. I saw Manny Pacquiao destroy Margarito, right? I saw Manny Pacquiao destroy Oscar De La Hoya. I saw Manny Pacquiao dismantle Ricky Hatton in 2 rounds, knocked him cold, right? I saw Manny Pacquiao struggle against Keith Thurman. I don't think that was a split decision, but the fight was close. I thought Manny should have got it unanimously, but the fight was close. And I don't think the fight in Manny's prime against Thurman would be close. His age was showing. Just because he won a fight against Keith Thurman doesn't mean that his age isn't showing. His age was showing in that fight. And you could clearly see his age was showing. So, for me, Crawford and Spence are better. Especially Spence. Spence is tough and big and strong. So, listen, Keith Thurman would be an underdog against Spence and Crawford, and you guys know that. He'd be an underdog in those fights, right? And was Keith Thurman the old Keith Thurman that 4-pack? The one that Garcia and Porter fought. Keith Thurman was 2 years out the ring. And in his previous fight to Pacquiao, he almost got knocked out to Lopez. Go watch that fight. So that wasn't Keith Thurman at his best either, because I think Keith Thurman, I don't know whether, like Keith Thurman, I don't know. I think he's lost the hunger. I think it was more of he wanted the Manny Pacquiao fight because he wanted a big check, and he got that. Because I don't think he believed. I think he felt Manny was old, and he felt he'll beat Manny and he'll get a huge check, and then he'll get another huge check against Spence. That's what he felt. But it didn't work out that way because Manny showed up. But Spence and Crawford's different kettle of fish. They live the life. They're not injured. They're more dedicated, in my opinion. Not taking long periods out like Thurman. Not inactivity is not as much. And I think they train, they live in the gym a lot more. And I think Keith Thurman, again, I don't really like to blame personal things and everything. I think that might have had an impact on Keith Thurman's, injury, maybe, just getting involved in other things. He got married, and, other things may affect, you have a life. Boxing's a very tough sport. Your personal life can sometimes come in the way as well. Who knows, man? Who knows? But the fact is, Pacquiao beat him. But I never felt Pacquiao was going to fight Errol Spence or Terence Crawford. Not after 2 years out the ring. Did you really think so? Did you really think that Terence he would come back and fight Crawford and Spence 2 years out, nearly 2 years out the ring? 43 years of age. I didn't think so. I always thought he'd fight someone like a Mikey, just to get his, just to dip his toe in the water, just to see where he's at. Because if he looks great, then you can make a case for him fighting Spence or Crawford. But if he doesn't look great and he loses or gets knocked down or looks terrible, then we know it's time for him to go. Or it's time for him to retire. So at the end of the day, right, what people must understand is that Manny Pacquiao is not a spring chicken. Manny Pacquiao, he's old. 43 is old for a boxer. It's very old. And plus, here's another thing what you guys don't understand. Manny Pacquiao is not a machine. He's had a very, very long career, a very, very tough career. This is a guy that's been knocked out early on in his career, and he got knocked out badly against Marquez. Do you know knockouts have a severe... They have a big impact on your career. Did you hear what Bernard Hopkins said about Manny Pacquiao when he got knocked out to Marquez? He goes, knockouts like that are equivalent to 10 fights. Not one fight. Equivalent to 10 fights, a knockout like that. You see, a lot of you guys think that, this is a man, this isn't a machine. It's not going to keep going. Even machines break down. So at the end of the day, there's only so much even a great legend like Pacquiao. I've said before that I think Pacquiao would beat Spence and Crawford in his prime. Some people don't even agree with that. Some people think, no, Spence would beat Pacquiao in his prime. I don't think so. I totally disagree with that because I saw Pacquiao in his prime. I saw what kind of beast that guy was. I saw him. He was a beast. So nah, man, I don't see many people beating Pacquiao in a prime. I'm talking going back legends as well. It's very difficult. But in terms of right now, I think Manny's made the right decision. I think for his career, for his health, I think fighting Mikey Garcia, because you got to dip your toe in the water. You got to dip your toe in the water to see where you're at that age. Jumping straight into Crawford and Spence is, even though it's not a fight that I like, and selfishly I'd say fight Crawford, I don't think that's the right move. And I think when you've got a team around you that are there for your, there for your best interest, they're not gonna throw you in. Listen, Manny Pacquiao's got a lot of obligations outside of a boxing ring now. He's at the end of his career. There's a lot of other things that he's got to be thinking about. Someone was telling me the other day that Manny Pacquiao's had a very tough career, very hard career. He wants to be a president. So sometimes you, as a boxing fan, are not looking at that. They are. People around them, Manny's got other bigger goals now in life than being a boxer. There's a lot of bigger things that he's doing, which if he was to fall ill or something was to happen to him, that those bigger goals and those more important things than being a boxing legend and being regarded as the greatest boxer, that's not big, right? At the end of the day, who cares about all of that? Yeah, fair enough, his fans and you guys will care. But for me, when you've achieved that much, in my opinion, you should use your high profile status, which Manny Pacquiao does, to help your country, which is a very, Philippines need a good leader. They need somebody that cares for their people, because Manny Pacquiao is going to be a very caring leader because he's a guy that's made a shed load of money. He doesn't really need the money. He gives a lot of money away and he's a good man like that. So I feel like his ambition and goals in life now have surpassed boxing, right? It's a bit like Ali. Ali's goals after, he didn't care about being the greatest fighter. He wanted to be greater than that. He wanted to go out and do charity work and go to different countries, and he wanted to inspire people. That's more important. Manny Pacquiao, although he's not a global figure, he's more of an inspiration to a lot of most Filipinos, and Filipinos hold him in very high regard. Even though there are people like myself, for example, that really look up to Manny Pacquiao. He did a great, he's a legend, really. And most people view him as a legend, whether it's Philippines or outside. Even in the UK, for example, he's viewed as a legend. But he doesn't have the global of appeal of Ali. But nevertheless, I still feel for a guy to come from... Because remember, Muhammad Ali was from America, which is the biggest, with most powerful, biggest country in the world. Whereas Manny Pacquiao was from the Philippines. Who don't have the same kind of press coverage and that. But again, I don't really want to go into that because Manny Pacquiao fought most of his career in America. And, so at the end of the day, and he did great. He beat a lot of American fighters. He was on, he sold a lot of pay-per-view in that country. So obviously, Manny Pacquiao's a very, very big star in America. So I just think, listen, man, he's done a lot. So... For me right now, it doesn't really bother me who he fights. I think if he's fighting, it's a great event, great view, great, fact that he's fighting is great. And I think we should accept that now. I think why should we ask a 43-year-old man should be fighting the best now? It's irrelevant, really. If Spence and Crawford beat Manny Pacquiao, all right, well done, you beat a 43-year-old. And What do they gain from that? Really and honestly, what are people going to say if Crawford beats Manny Pacquiao? Oh yeah, he beat up an old Manny Pacquiao, past his prime Manny Pacquiao. Spence beat up a past up prime Manny Pacquiao. They don't gain anything. The only person that's going to gain is Pacquiao, because Pacquiao, if he beats them, then people are going to say, oh my God, he is the greatest fighter of all time. See, they've got nothing to gain. Manny's got everything to gain, because if Manny loses, everyone's going to say Manny was past his best anyway. If he beats them, people are going to say, wow, this is the greatest fighter of all time. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So Manny's not got a lot to lose, apart from, of course, his health, of course. But in terms of his credibility as a fighter, he's lost before Manny Pacquiao, so it's not like it'll just be another loss, but his credibility won't be hurt one bit. He can only enhance it, in my opinion, if he puts in a good performance or beats one of them. It only solidify his legacy as the greatest ever. One of the great. I reckon if he beats one of them, you could make an argument him being the greatest ever. Some of you think he's the greatest ever now. Obviously, that's very debatable. That's, you can debate either way. But the fact of the matter is, he's a great and he's a legend. So I don't think anyone can deny that. Where you rank him, I've always said I rank him in my top 5, top 10. I would put him in the top 5. But again, a lot of people would disagree with me. Some people don't even have Manny in the top 10, because there's been so many great fighters along the way. It's just difficult. It's difficult to really say who's what, who's where. There's been so many great fighters and so many legends that, it's who you like, really. It's who you like. It's who you prefer. It is what it is, But at the end of the day, I don't think no one can deny being the 8 Division World Champion, doing what he's done in the game. And I think a Mikey Garcia fight will be entertaining. Yeah, any Manny Pacquiao fight's entertaining. He fought Broner. Mikey beat Broner, but it's a more challenging fight than Broner. So at the end of the day, I don't know why we're complaining. It's still at this point, Mikey's a very challenging fight at this point in Manny's career. Remember, 43. He's fighting at world championship level against world-class fighters at 43. That in itself is incredible. Right? You guys know I'm a massive Amir Khan fan, right? And I always bring him up in my videos somewhere around. He's 34, right? And he's way, way past his best. 34. Manny's 43. And it's not like Amir Khan was rubbish. Amir Khan in his prime was also world champ. Obviously, he wasn't as good as Pacquiao, but he was a world championship fighter, unified champion, a world-class fighter in his peak. So he was at world class level himself. Yes, he was never at Pacquiao's level, but I'm telling you, he's 34 and he's done. Manny Pacquiao still at a much higher level than him at this age. That's what I find incredible. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So what I'm trying to say, that you don't quite understand how what Manny Pacquiao is doing right now is incredible, but it's at the detriment of his health. Because when you're fighting at that age, you got to realize you recover a lot less. You know, injuries heal up not as quick. So again, like I said, you've got, you know, that's an example. Look at Miguel Cotto towards the end of his career. I don't even know whether he was 43. You know, he got beat by Saddam Ali, and that was horrible to watch because Miguel Cotto was a legend, right? And look at the way he got beat down by a guy really that he would have beat quite comfortably in his prime. So, like I said, age catches up with everyone, you know, and Manny's no different. And if he keeps going on too long, he'll catch up. Who knows? Mikey might beat him. You know, we're sitting here saying that, oh, no, you never know when you get old. Like I just told you, Saddam Ali beat Miguel Cotto. Saddam Ali wasn't on Miguel Cotto's level, but he beat him. This is what I'm saying to you. When you get old, guys that, you know, Roy Jones got beat by how many guys after his prime? They weren't better than him, but they beat him. Why? Because he was past his prime. And when you're past your prime, guys beat you that shouldn't beat you. So, like I said, let's see what happens. And I'm just glad that we'll get to see him. But again, you know, I think we should respect where he's at, respect who he's fighting, because the fact that he's fighting is a brilliant thing. At 43, you know, this guy's doing incredible things fighting at world championship level at 43 years of age. It's incredible. But leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think, guys, in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next video. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.